10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to Dax Chats. In this episode, I'm speaking to a man who's been around for almost 20 years, but in the last 10 years, he's really come alive. His last album was called 101, and it had great hits on it, including a duet with Sharon O'Neill, the Dragon classic, Young Years. Recently, he has come out with a couple of new tracks this year. He had Night After Night, Coming Down in Spades, and a brand new track called Mama Said. Today, Dax Chats to Ben Ransom, and here's Ben right now.
Hey,
G'day, buddy. All right, how are you?
There we go. Spirit fingers. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right. So you've been around for many, many years from Toongabbie in the west of Sydney. You've gone through with amazing people, toured with amazing people, recorded with amazing people, gone out on your own and done some brilliant stuff. Tell me about your journey thus far.
Yeah, it's been, well, when you say 20 years, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but I've been kicking around doing this for pretty much that length of time. You're right. I always wanted to do music. I think growing up, it was something that I, just wanted to be. I felt like I just wanted to sing and perform and play guitar and all of that. So I taught myself how to play guitar because I went to a couple of lessons and, being expensive and poor as we were, I managed to get a couple of lessons, and the rest of sort of self-taught. And then joined my first band in high school, and then as soon as I left school, I went into uni. I didn't want to go to uni really, just wanted to be a rock star. But anyway, I went to uni. And then finished that, worked for a couple of years and took myself off overseas and been doing sort of music ever since. So back in Australia now and found a little niche in the country industry, and it's been good to me.
It has been good to you. I mean, I've seen you perform live, and I remember seeing you at what's the place called? The Stag and Hunter.
Yeah, that was the last
Stag and
time.
Hunter.
That's the last time we saw each other in the flesh. And in fact, one of the songs that I trialled that night became Mama Said, which is the brand new single. And that would have been, 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yep.
So since then, we had the 101 album that you mentioned. We released that, and had a string of fantastic stuff from that recording. But not long after we hooked up, I think it was the following April. Yep. Was it April? Went to That's the One.
That's the one. There you go.
And
I still have my version. It's all signed on the inside. Look at that.
Yeah. There it is.
Yep.
Look at that. And then recorded the new album in Nashville. But that whole period from when we last met was when I was writing the new record.
So the new album's going. Well, it is called Brave New World, and this is a fitting title to what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, interesting because not to say I had any foresight. It was more about that's the title track from the album is the name of one of the songs, and this album has been recorded and ready to go for 12 months, and way before any of this, COVID stuff happened. Brave New World, for me, in terms of what it's all about, it's about relationships, it's about family, and it's a very, I suppose, introspective, personal kind of recording. Brave New World is, for me, it was like, I don't know what's next, what's coming next, and it's Brave New World, taken from Aldous Huxley's novel of the same name, and that's how the title of the album came about. But yeah, lucky for us, the pandemic hit, and it kind of sits in nicely.
Does fit in nicely because it is a very brave new world. And during this pandemic, you've come out with a couple of singles. Obviously, the new one, but every single that you've done so far has been very different to each other, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of the album sits, because you've got Night After Night, which had that flamenco guitar through it, that Spanish, it kind of reminded me of the old El Paso,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's
I think I remember telling you that.
Yeah, that one was an interesting choice to go out as the first single from the album. I just listened to the people that know better than me, and that's the one that we went out with. But when you do listen to the record in, the way it's meant to be listened, everything kind of sits nicely in context. I think this one, this record is probably a little bit more on the rockier side compared to the other couple that I've done. But that one, Night After Night.
There you go. There it is.
That was a fantastic song. It's absolutely one of my favourites. I think all the little songs on this album are my favourite, and I can't wait to send it over to you.
It's hard to pick a favourite, right? I mean, especially when you've put all these beautiful songs together. It's like, which one is the favourite? It's very strange to ask an artist what is their favourite off the album, because they're all their babies.
Yeah, well, that's true, and I find it depends on what mood you're in, and particularly with this recording, you'll find there's something for everyone on there. So yeah, stay tuned.
So your second single was called "Coming Down in Spades," and as you said, that's a more rockier style for you, and it was quite a shock from Night After Night to "Coming Down in Spades." I was like, "Whoa!"
I know. Just I feel kind of scattered. I try to be consistent and keep everything, in. Well, I guess consistent, but it's just not the way the songs come out. The songs come out the way that the emotion and everything surrounding them pops out, and whether it's a rocky, hard-edged thing, or if it's a soulful ballad, or if it's somewhere in between. That's how it is.
That is how it is. So Coming Down in Spades, it was almost fitting as well, because it was like, the song is about everything coming down on top of you, and and it's like this pandemic just came down on top of us right at the same time, and it's like it was a brilliant song to release at this moment.
Yeah, it was that was a little rapid release in between the two main singles that we've done so far, Night After Night, and this one, Mum Said, and it was just like something for the fans. We'd gone into lockdown, and we thought, people want to be entertained, they want to have their minds taken off things, so we'll pump some music out, and that song choice was just perfect, and it's about resilience and learning from past mistakes, and we're all going to be rained down upon by adversity at one point or another in our lives, and that's what all about. So you're right, but it's been very interesting. I haven't been sitting around bored during this whole time. We're here in Sydney. We're still sort of, semi-locked down. People are working from home, and I'm lucky enough. I've got some sideline gigs happening that's keeping the cogs turning and money coming in. But in terms of live shows, everything's been cancelled, and everything's been pulled out for the rest of the year. No touring, nothing like that. But I haven't been resting on my laurels there, mate. I'm going to show you. I'm going to plug something that I've been working on that we launched on the weekend. And
I saw this. Oh yes, I saw this. Yes. Go on.
So this is hot and spicy, and this is chili and garlic beef jerky. Goes great with music and cold beverage anyway. So I've been working on that, and it was a hit on the weekend. We launched it on the weekend, and I'm close to selling out. And I'm actually doing some new batches. So if anyone wants to grab some, you can come and visit me on Facebook or the website. We're still trying to work that out, and we're having some technical issues, but I need to pick your brains about this thing you've got going on here. Is so cool. I really like it. So maybe you can help me with the website stuff.
I could certainly look into that, because I've built my whole website myself, so I could probably help out.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So yeah, I was shocked when I saw that on Facebook. It was like Ben Ransom jerky. I was like, what's going on here? But I thought, we've got to extend our thoughts past, what we know, what we can do, like, so because of this pandemic, I was like, well, that's brilliant. You're working on, other things to keep yourself busy and to keep your name out there as well. So I thought that was actually a good idea.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, and it's tasty too, and you can take a little bit of me home with you.
There you go. So are you going to be, once we go back to gigs, are you going to be taking it to gigs and selling it on the merch table?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. In fact, there's a big show coming up in March next year. Tickets are on sale now. That's the Country Rocks New South Wales, and that's in the 21st. I'm going to check the dates, but it's the latter half of March with a fantastic lineup, huge lineup of people, and so I think I'm going to be preparing well in advance for that.
Good.
And all this stuff will be available at the merchandise store. There you go, something to put your cherry cola in.
Cooler. Yep, there you go.
All of these things. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, an interesting thing about the new song. Yes, I did hear it 2 years ago, and I remember it very well. Actually, I was like, but because we're all in lockdown, you did something very, very different with this video clip. You played every part.
It's interesting, yeah. I had to. There's a big story behind it. So the song itself, Mama said, it's I was driving along one day and I was thinking, and I would have conversations with my wife about this as well. Is like how close do you think at points in our life have we come to death and not even realised? And by extension of that, how is it with all the variables in life, everything that can possibly go wrong, how is it that we actually get to the point that we are in life? And that was how the premise of the song started. Is it fate? Is it luck? Or is it the pearls of wisdom that have been instilled upon us by those that know better? And so, and so I was thinking back on, what Mum and Dad used to tell us to do and not to do, and, advice here and there. And that's how it all started. And so the video, we came up with this idea, everything had been locked down. We did it in the middle of lockdown, and we came up with the concept of, well, at any given point in time, your life can go off on a crossroad here, or a U-turn there, or a wide bend here. I could have been a rock star, or I could have been an usher, or I could have been a bum in the street, I could have been, a toilet cleaner, or I could have been a, scientist, or, he could have been anything,
Correct.
And so I try and incorporate, what you know, all these possibilities within the theme of just going to a concert. I could have been any one of these people, you know, I don't know. And it just so happened that because of lockdown, we were only allowed to have, you know, 2 people there. And so,
Yeah.
so I had to fill the role of everyone. I'm a terrible actor, by the way, but I filled the role of everyone. I was, you know, the whole band, and I was, you know, the usher, and I was the manager, and I had to fight with myself, which I do from time to time, and had to be the crowd at the end. So it was
Yeah.
like 150 me in the crowd at the end, and it was a lot of fun. And if you look very closely, you can see the streaker in there as well. And but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, yeah. They had to use
Oh my goodness.
for that one, but yeah, no, it was a whole heap of fun. It was, yeah, a lot of fun.
I've watched. I must admit, I've watched the video multiple times. I am so impressed because it would have been such a hard thing to do. You know, visualizing where the next person needs to be, and you know, like, so setting all that up would have been so difficult because like you're talking to yourself, and so you have to, your eyes have to be in the right place, and you know,
Yeah.
your hand movements have to be in the right place, and I think that's so impressive.
It was, yeah. I mean, 20 minutes into the shoot, we realised that we'd bitten off more than we can chew, and you know, at any point things could have gone pear shaped. We luckily pulled something together, which is great. But yeah, you know, it was because it was quite technical. It was pretty much one take, and it had to be this. So we had to sort of, you know, rehearse how it was going to go, and you know, and then things were going wrong. You know, batteries were failing, the camera was failing, and we only had a finite period of time in this beautiful historic theatre out there in Bingara, you know, northwest New South Wales,
Yeah.
and limited by time, and it was just, yeah, it was chaos, but yeah, so much fun to do.
So how did you manage? What was it about? Oh, I would say 160 odd costume changes.
Well, a bit of movie magic. So it was probably about, you know, between 60 and 70 costume changes,
Yeah.
and then we sort of, you know, matted things here and there. So there's a couple of double ups in that huge shot of the crowd,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, still I felt like Cher or Kylie Minogue or someone like that at a concert. Um, yeah, it was certainly a lot of costume
just
changes.
just just for one video clip, amazing.
Yeah. My whole car, it was just full of like clothes.
It's a brilliant film clip. The song is brilliant. I've loved it since the day I heard you sing it, and when I heard you sing it, I heard you sing it acoustically. It was so having the full band sound really brings a new essence to it. So yeah, congratulations, buddy. It's
Thank
all
you very much.
awesome.
Thank you.
So
Yeah. No,
I do need to ask, what is next for Ben Ransom? I mean, obviously you've got this great song, you've got this great video clip, but what's coming?
so I'll be. I went back into the studio. So once the album was finished, I went back into the studio. I was writing new songs for you know, the next album, and teamed up once again with Matt Fell. And of course, the album was recorded in Nashville, and uh, one of these tracks we felt just absolutely fit with this album, and so I went back and recorded it and said, no, we've got to put it on this album. It's just that good, and it's just going to be the icing
Mhm.
on the cake. So that is actually going to be the next single, which is lined up for November. Don't tell anyone, but anyway,
Oh,
that's that's coming out. Like I said, there's no more touring for the year. We're stuck in New South Wales, but
yeah.
might be doing, you know, a few little pop-up shows here and there. 2021, I think, is going to be the big one. The album, of course, is going to be released, and hopefully we'll, you know, get a whole sort of, you know, touring schedule throughout the rest of next year, and it'll make up for everything that's been lacking this year. We'll continue to make beef jerky. We're bringing out some limited editions as well.
Mhm.
What else have we got going on? You know, they're just I don't know. I'll think of something else.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Now, obviously, you're looking ahead to 2021. I have to ask this because it's one of those things you're hearing from governments that, especially in Victoria right now, that the state of emergency in Victoria is going to be extended right through till the end of September 2021. So it's not looking great for Australia right now. I've heard stories of international travel not getting back to any kind of normal before 2024.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you feel like people are looking forward to Tamworth? They're thinking that Tamworth's going to be the next big thing. Do you actually think that Tamworth can go ahead as it used to,
Hmm.
or is it going to be a major change?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Tamworth in itself is an interesting festival. There's no real sort of one body that controls the whole festival. I mean, you've
Mm,
got the privately owned venues. You've got concerts in the park. You've got this and that. So it's a whole mishmash of different things. So I do think that it is going to still power on ahead in some capacity. Um,
mm,
I mean, they've been struggling with crowds over the years. I've noticed people say there's been a decline in attendance, but the shows that I've been involved with have been jam packed,
mm,
over the last few years. And so I think, there will definitely be room for throwing something together. And,
mm.
and I love the live stuff. I find that that's the strength in what I do is the live performance
Oh,
with the full
yeah.
band, and
Mm,
I know that we'll be able to sort of get back to doing that. It might take a bit of time.
mm.
I hear there's a good chance there may be a vaccine on the way. It's going to, you know, maybe sort of give us a bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm.
But yeah, who knows? It's a brave new world.
There you go. It's a brave new world. What a nice segue that was. The new album, which is coming out in 2021, is called Brave New World. So there we go. Ben, I just want to give a shout out first of all to Kaz Waters from Red Rebel Records, Red Rebel Music, and Michael Bond from Country Rocks. They do a wonderful job in keeping you doing what you do best.
Yeah, fantastic team. I'm so happy to be associated with those guys. They work
Mm,
hard, just as hard as you, mate.
mm,
And so I really do thank everyone that's been involved in sort of helping get all these songs and things out. So thank you.
mm. No problem. Well, you have a wonderful evening. It's what is it now there? It's 5:30
Yeah,
there.
about
So
5. Yeah,
yeah,
might be time
have
to
a
go
one.
and have a cold one in the sunset.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Maybe get on live Facebook and do a few tunes for us.
I could do that. Yeah,
All right. No
after.
worries. After a few beers, man. All right. No problem. Well, thank you very much for your time, Ben. It's been great to talk to you. And I'm sure we'll be talking again probably towards November.
That sounds awesome, mate. Yeah, really look forward to it. And you take care over there. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Shall do. All right. No problem. Have a good one, man.
See.
That was Ben Ransom. And as he said, his new album is called Brave New World, and that will be coming out in 2021. He will have a new single coming out in November, but shh, that's a secret. His brand new track right now is called Mama Said. It is playing on the Country Thunder Network. You can go to our website, which is right there, countrythunder.com.au, and you can request it from the player, or you can vote for it in the Country Thunder 20. Until next time, this is DJ Dax signing out for Dax Chats, proudly presented by Neon Horse in Stanhope, Victoria. Bye for now.